Welcome. This is Atcoin Day Trading, Litecoin, the best Elliott wave analysis, episode number 7. Today I'm going to talk about 3 things. The first thing is sentiment. So I'm going to take a look at sentiment on Bitcoin right now, because it's telling us important stuff that we should be aware of. So I'm going to talk today about it, and maybe I'll get back to it on my next updates on doing this week, because it's quite important. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about is sentiment in the crypto space. The second thing I will talk about is, of course, Litecoin, and I'll start with Ichimoku, and then I'll take a look at its wave count. And that will be all for today. So I'm going to switch to my disclaimer. There it is. So now you should be able to see it. This is my disclaimer. The link is in the description, and there's also a risk warning. So just that you are aware that there are risks involved in trading. And if you're interested in my services, as always, I'm doing live Elliott Wave updates. It's on BTC. It's on BTC because BTC is the most important crypto since it has the biggest market cap. And if BTC goes up, everything goes up. If BTC goes down, everything goes down. Usually that's the case in more than 90% of, I would say 99% of cases that's what's happening. So if you're interested in my live Elliott Wave updates, you will receive 1 to 3 updates a day. Often it's more than 3. It's around 5, sometimes 8. Maybe sometimes I even make 10. But it's more if I can work correctly, and if I don't have too much things to do outside, then it's more than 3. But I'm only promising a minimum of 1 to 3, just that people don't get upset if once they don't get 5 or 8 updates. And if you are interested, you join my free Telegram group and just let me know that you're interested. Then I will provide you the instruction on how to become a member. Those live Elliott Wave updates will cost you 20 USD a month, but it's really worth it because you firstly get my updates regularly live during the entire day, most of the time also the night, because I have my sleep cycles from time to time reversed. By that I mean I don't stand up at every time at the same time, and I don't go to bed at the same time every day. I try to keep, when I have a nice rhythm, like 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, when I have something like this, I try to keep it, but then I get out of it and it gets messed up until I sync again with the rhythm of the day and night. But that's a personal thing. I went to see doctors for it. They prescribed me sleeping pills, but it doesn't help that much. Anyways, it's not so important. Sorry to talk about that. It's just to say that you get a lot of updates, and they might be 24 of 24 since I have sleep problems. So if you're interested, you just tell me and I'll let you know. BTC is really the key to understanding the crypto market, and you should know what's happening on BTC. If you are an investor or if you are a trader, it's a nice indicator to have. I also talk about, from time to time, when it's important, about Ichimoku. So you get on top of the BTC Elliott Wave, you get also analysis on Ichimoku. I must add it once. I have the time to do it. Let's see if I remember, and I'll do the work. Now, that being said, for my work today, as always, you can be kind and leave me a like and a comment. I would appreciate that. And now let's talk first about sentiment. So the important thing about sentiment is to know is that the Elliott wave principle is also based around sentiment. So the wave counts have a relationship with sentiment. And we consider that when the sentiment is very bad, it's a good opportunity to go long. And when the sentiment is extremely euphoric, then we might be at the end of a wave 5, and you should be thinking about taking short trades. So now we have a sentiment indicator. This one goes from February 2018 up to today. And there are important things to notice about that sentiment indicator. The first thing is that right now, once again, we are at a very low reading. And if you look in the past, what happened every time we went that low, there could have been, there was usually a huge price increase. So from here, which was November 2018, you can look on the chart. There was, if I'm not mistaken, a price increase until June 2019 from 315%. So that's nice price increase that you get from that low reading. And here again on March 2020, you did again get a very low reading on BTC. Or is it the entire crypto market? I don't want to change because I have annotation and it will get messed up. But here again, you had a very low reading on March 2020, and then you went up until around December 2020. And this time it was wave 3, and you get a huge price increase from 1,460%. So that's a nice price increase. And if you did pay attention to the reading on the sentiment indicator, it would have helped you to catch that huge price increase. And one again, now more recently, in 2021, in July 2021, we did get one more price increase up to last year, the fall of last year. And that was still an increase from 334%. So I let you check the percentages because they might not be exact depending on what exchange you're looking at. I'll let you check that and look at the price chart. But every time, as you can see during the past, every time we did get a low reading, price went up afterwards. So now again, once more, we have a very low leading on sentiment. And that's an extreme case because Bitcoin actually is not that down and we didn't enter a bear market for that long, but sentiment is very bad. And when you get that bad of a sentiment reading, then usually price increases afterwards. So that's just something to be aware and to pay attention to it. So now we see if Ichimoku and Elliott wave confirm that outlook. So on Litecoin, the Ichimoku chart, as you can see, is now once again fully bullish. By that, I mean that we are firstly, it's over the cloud. Since it's a chart that allows you to have a good idea about the outlook at one glance. It's very fast to know how we are sitting right now just by looking once at the chart on Ichimoku. And right now you can straight see that we are bullish since we are over the cloud, and you only should be looking for long trades. And the super trend did recently turn bullish. That's because both of those lines did break. Well, the upper line is not sure that it definitely played you. Normally you have to wait for a close to be sure that it really did broke the upper line. Because right now, if it goes back, then the risk will be still there. But so the super trend went bullish, and Tenkan-sen is above Kichuin. So here you have the Kichuin line. The lower line is the Kichuin line. It's a good stop loss line, and the higher line is Tenkan-sen. So Kichuin and Tenkan-sen is above the Kichuin, which is also bullish. And here you had the cross from both of those lines. And if you look at the lagging span, it is free to move higher. So we are fully bullish on Ichimoku. And that being said, I'm going to take a brief look at the labeling of heat waves on Litecoin. So on Litecoin, if we look at the history, here you were in a correction which ended down here at 23.59, and then we had an impulsive wave up. Since that was wave 2, the impulsive wave up here is wave 3 of 5, and you can see the subdivision with wave 3 being the extended wave. And now we are entering a correction. So what I'm going to say now applies only to Litecoin, because on other charts, I don't have the same outlooks, because on Litecoin, I have a triangle right now as my labeling. It might change, but right now I have a triangle. And A, B, C down here, you can see it. When I zoom in, you will be able to see it in D, and then you would get an E wave. And that would end wave 4. Since up here you have wave 3, it would end wave 4. So it's the only crypto that I observe closely, which shows me a triangle for wave 4. But that's how it looks right now. Now I'm going to zoom in, show you the last move with more detail. So let's first take a look at the 3-hour chart. Up here, we had the top of wave 3, as you can see. And then we started the correction. And if that labeling is correct, we did get a wave A, a wave B up here, a wave C down here, and we would get a wave D and E following it. Wave A subdivided into 3 waves, as it should. The same goes for wave B, 3 waves. And the wave C subdivided into a double V, X, and Y wave. You can see it, but when I zoom in, you will be able to see it. So let me zoom in. So up here, we have wave B. Then we get wave A, which subdivides into 5 waves. So you will get a zigzag, then you get a wave B and a wave C down here. You can see exactly this, the 5 waves, wave C, but there are 5. And since it's a double V, you then get an X wave. The X wave that subdivides into an A, B, C. Here the C was ending diagonal with wave 4 entering the price territory of wave 1. And then we get a final wave A, B, and down here C to finish wave Y. So now I'm going to zoom in even a little more so we can take a look at the last price move on Litecoin. So here we have the last move on Litecoin, and that is the ending of wave C of the triangle, which means that we are in the process of accomplishing wave D somewhere up here. I draw very badly, but you get the idea. It's because I have a new mouse and it's harder to draw. It hurts less my hand if I work a long time a day, but it's an ergonomic mouse. But when I try drawing, it's not good for drawing. But it's nice to have if you have problems with your wrist. Anyways, let's go back to the chart. So here you stop down here, you stopped wave C of the triangle. And which was also the end of wave Y. And now we are subdividing higher. So you can label it as a 1, 2. And then we are looking now for wave 3 up higher. And then again, you subdivide. So you get one more 1, 2. Then the third wave is extended. So you see clearly see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves in it. And here you have the top for wave 3. Then you get a correction, an ABC correction for wave 4. And now we could be in the process of accomplishing the final wave 5 of 3, since here we have wave 2. So it will be 5 of 3. Well, I mean 5 of 3, since down here we have wave 2. So it will be 5 of 3 up there, somewhere higher. So now the question you could ask me is, how confident am I that we have a triangle on Litecoin when we don't see it on other cryptos? I'm not that confident in it. I just see it, so I'll let you know. But if price action or behavior tells me otherwise, then I will find labeling that fits the new price behavior. So you always can relabel it and you end up finding the correct labeling. So I'm not that confident, but I think that we could be in on a turning point. And even if I did not choose the best crypto to show you that, since I see a triangle on it, on the other cryptos, it looks better. I'll make an update tomorrow, maybe on Bitcoin or some other altcoin. I think I haven't done one on Bitcoin for a long time. So I might do one on Bitcoin tomorrow. So if you look at the other cryptos, they look quite bullish. At least it is very probable that we have started an impulse wave up and that a button is in, especially with what I have just told you at the beginning of this intervention when I talked about sentiment. So that's all I wanted to say for today. I will repeat myself and talk about sentiment again tomorrow. because I think it's that important. And I'll follow closely the price behavior of Bitcoin, and we see if we really develop an impulse wave higher, and if the confidence in that bottom of which we are talking about, especially on other cryptos than Litecoin, is in, and that we could go higher for the final wave 5 of the bull market. And if that happens, that would be fine. It would be in it would corroborate the Elliott wave count, and once we are finished the final wave up of wave 5, then we would start a bear market. But first we have first to see if we effectively start an impulse wave higher from the lows we just had. So I think tomorrow I'll maybe take a look at Bitcoin, and of course keep updating my private clients live on the last Elliott wave count. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to join my free Telegram group to have a second way of communicating with me. And if you're interested in my services, by that I mean my live Elliott wave updates several times a day, then let me know and I'll provide you the instruction. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.